Andalusia, a region rich in culture, history, and diversity, holds a significant place in the annals of human civilization. From its ancient origins to its vibrant present, the history of Andalusia is a tapestry, woven with threads of conquest, coexistence, and cultural exchange. This essay aims to delve into the depths of Andalusia's past, exploring its pivotal moments, influential figures, and enduring legacies. By tracing the trajectory of Andalusia's history, we can gain a deeper understanding of its profound significance and enduring impact on the world stage. The story of Andalusia's history begins in the midst of prehistory, where evidence of early human settlement dates back to the Paleolithic era, approximately 40,000 years ago. Nomadic hunter-gatherer tribes roamed the fertile lands of Andalusia, leaving behind traces of their existence in the form of cave paintings, such as those found in the renowned caves of Nerja and La Pileta. These ancient artworks offer glimpses into the daily lives, rituals, and beliefs of Andalusia's earliest inhabitants. As the climate warmed and the Ice Age receded, Andalusia witnessed the emergence of settled agricultural communities during the Neolithic period, around 6000 BC. These early farmers cultivated crops such as wheat, barley, and legumes, harnessing the fertile soils of Andalusia's river valleys and coastal plains. Archaeological sites such as Los Millers and El Romeral provide valuable insights into the social, organization, technology, and material culture of Neolithic societies in Andalusia. The Bronze Age usher in a period of technological innovation and social complexity in Andalusia. Metalworking techniques spread throughout the region, enabling the production of sophisticated bronze tools, weapons, and ornaments. The Tartessian civilization, centered around the Guadalquivir River basin, emerged as a dominant political and economic power in southwestern Iberia. The Tartessians engaged in extensive trade networks with the Phoenicians and other Mediterranean cultures, enriching Andalusia's cultural landscape and facilitating the exchange of ideas and goods. One of the most enduring legacies of prehistoric Andalusia is its wealth of megalithic monuments, which dot the region's landscape and stand as silent witnesses to antiquity. These monumental structures, constructed primarily during the Neolithic and Bronze Ages, served various purposes, including burial sites, religious rituals, and astronomical observatories. The dolmens of Antequera, such as the Menga, Vera, and El Romeral dolmens, are among the most impressive megalithic complexes in Europe, dating back over 4,000 years. These massive stone tombs, constructed using enormous slabs of limestone, reflect the architectural prowess and spiritual beliefs of Andalusia's ancient inhabitants. The orientation of dolmens towards celestial phenomena, such as the summer solstice sunrise, suggests a sophisticated understanding of astronomy and the cosmos. In addition to dolmens, Andalusia is home to numerous menhirs, or standing stones, which served as markers of territory, commemorative monuments, or symbols of religious significance. Tepe de los Enamorados, Lover's Rock near Antequera, is a striking example of a natural rock formation adorned with anthropomorphic carvings, possibly dating back to the Bronze Age. These enigmatic petroglyphs hint at the spiritual beliefs and cultural practices of Andalusia's ancient peoples, inviting speculation and interpretation from archaeologists and historians alike. The arrival of Phoenician and later Carthaginian traders and settlers in Andalusia marked a significant turning point in the region's history. The Phoenicians, renowned seafarers and traders from the eastern Mediterranean, established colonies along the southern coast of Iberia as early as the 9th century BC. These colonies, including Gadir modern-day CDC, Wallacham Laga, and Ad Dar Adra, served as strategic outposts for maritime trade and cultural exchange between the eastern Mediterranean and the western Mediterranean. Phoenician colonization of Andalusia facilitated the exchange of goods such as precious metals, ivory, textiles, and ceramics, fostering economic prosperity and cultural diffusion throughout the region. Andalusia's strategic location at the crossroads of maritime trade routes enabled the Phoenicians to establish lucrative commercial networks, extending as far as the Levant, North Africa, and even the British Isles. The influence of Phoenician colonization on Andalusian society was not limited to economic exchanges, but also extended to cultural and religious spheres. Phoenician religious practices, such as the worship of Baal and Astarte, were introduced to Andalusia, leaving traces in archaeological sites such as the Temple of Melkart in Gadir. Additionally, the Phoenician alphabet, with its distinctive script and writing system, served as the basis for the Iberian script used by indigenous peoples in Andalusia. Following the decline of Phoenician power in the western Mediterranean, Carthage, a powerful North African city-state, emerged as the dominant force in Andalusia. Carthaginian control over Andalusia strengthened trade networks and cultural ties with the wider Carthaginian Empire, further enriching Andalusian society and economy. The Phoenician and Carthaginian presence in Andalusia had a profound impact on the region's society and economy. The establishment of trading colonies facilitated the diffusion of urbanization, commerce, and specialized craftsmanship in Andalusia, laying the groundwork for future prosperity and development. Economically, Andalusia benefited from its integration into the wider Mediterranean trade networks orchestrated by the Phoenicians and Carthaginians. The region's abundant natural resources, including mineral deposits, agricultural produce, and fisheries, attracted merchants and traders seeking to exploit Andalusia's wealth. The development of port cities such as Gadir and Malacca as commercial hubs stimulated economic growth and stimulated the emergence of a mercantile class in Andalusian society. Socially and culturally, Phoenician and Carthaginian colonization contributed to the multicultural fabric of Andalusia, fostering interactions between indigenous Iberian peoples, Phoenician settlers, and other Mediterranean cultures. The exchange of ideas, languages, and religious beliefs enriched Andalusian society, leading to the syncretism of indigenous and foreign customs and traditions. The conquest of Andalusia by the Roman Republic in the 2nd century BC marked a pivotal moment in the region's history, ushering in an era of Roman rule and cultural assimilation known as Roman Hispania. The Romanization of Andalusia, characterized by the spread of Latin language, law, and customs, transformed the social, political, and economic landscape of the region. Romanization entailed the establishment of Roman colonies, military garrisons, and administrative centers throughout Andalusia, consolidating Roman control and integrating the region into the broader framework of the Roman Empire. Roman cities such as Hispala, Seville, Cordoba, and Gade CDC became bustling urban centers, showcasing Roman architectural styles, public infrastructure, and civic institutions. The spread of Latin language and culture played a central role in the Romanization of Andalusia, supplanting indigenous languages and traditions with Roman norms and values. Latin became the lingua franca of administration, commerce, and education, fostering social cohesion and facilitating communication across diverse ethnic and cultural groups. The Romanization of Andalusia left an indelible mark on the region's architectural landscape, with impressive monuments and urban infrastructure reflecting Roman engineering prowess and aesthetic sensibilities. Roman cities in Andalusia boasted monumental public buildings, including forums, theaters, temples, and bathhouses, which served as focal points for civic life and cultural expression. One of the most iconic architectural marvels of Roman Andalusia is the Amphitheater of Italica, located near modern-day Seville. Built in the 1st century CE, Italica's amphitheater could accommodate over 25,000 spectators and hosted gladiatorial contests, theatrical performances, and public spectacles, showcasing the grandeur and entertainment culture of Roman Hispania. Urban development under Roman rule transformed Andalusian cities into vibrant centers of commerce, culture, and governance. Roman cities were laid out according to a grid pattern, with straight streets, public squares, and monumental landmarks defining the urban landscape. The construction of public amenities, such as baths, aqueducts, and marketplaces, enhanced the quality of life for urban residents and promoted social interaction and integration. The Visigothic period in Andalusia's history marked a tumultuous era of transition following the collapse of Roman rule in the 5th century CE. In the wake of the declining Roman Empire, waves of Germanic tribes, including the Visigoths, Vandals, and Suebi, swept across the Iberian Peninsula, vying for control over its territories. The Visigoths, a Germanic tribe of Gothic origin, emerged as the dominant force in Andalusia, establishing their kingdom centered around Toledo in the early 6th century CE. The Visigothic kings sought to consolidate their rule over the diverse population of Andalusia, blending Roman administrative practices with Germanic customs and traditions. Visigothic rule in Andalusia was characterized by political instability, social unrest, and religious conflict. The Visigothic monarchy struggled to maintain control over vast territories, facing internal dissent and external threats from rival kingdoms and nomadic incursions from North Africa. One of the most significant developments during the Visigothic period was the religious transformation of Andalusia, as Christianity supplanted paganism as the dominant faith. The Visigoths, originally Arian Christians, gradually adopted Nicene Christianity, aligning themselves with the orthodoxy of the Roman Catholic Church. The conversion of the Visigothic elite to Catholicism paved the way for the Christianization of Andalusia, as monastic communities, churches, and cathedrals proliferated throughout the region. The councils of Toledo, convened by Visigothic kings, played a crucial role in shaping the religious and ecclesiastical landscape of Andalusia, enacting laws and decrees to regulate religious affairs and assert royal authority. Despite the spread of Christianity, religious tensions persisted in Andalusia as Jewish and Christian communities coexisted uneasily under Visigothic rule. The Visigothic kings enacted discriminatory laws against Jews and imposed religious restrictions on non-Christian minorities, contributing to social divisions and cultural animosities within Andalusian society. The Islamic Golden Age in Andalusia, also known as Al-Andalus, began with the conquest of the Iberian Peninsula by the Umayyad Caliphate in the early 8th centuries. Led by the Berber general Tariq ibn Ziyad, Muslim forces crossed the Strait of Gibraltar in 711 CE and swiftly defeated the Visigothic kingdom, paving the way for the establishment of Islamic rule in Andalusia. The Umayyad conquest of Andalusia was facilitated by internal divisions and external alliances, as local rulers and dissident factions allied themselves with Muslim invaders in opposition to Visigothic hegemony. The rapid expansion of Muslim rule transformed Andalusia into a multicultural and cosmopolitan society, as Arab, Berber, and indigenous Iberian populations coexisted and intermingle under Islamic governance. The Islamic Golden Age in Andalusia witnessed a remarkable flourishing of art, science, and philosophy, fueled by the exchange of knowledge and ideas between Muslim, Christian, and Jewish scholars. Andalusia became a beacon of intellectual enlightenment and cultural innovation, attracting scholars, poets, and artisans from across the Mediterranean world. Under the patronage of Umayyad caliphs and regional emirs, Andalusian cities such as Cordoba, Granada, and Seville became centers of learning and creativity, boasting magnificent palaces, mosques, and libraries. The Great Mosque of Cordoba, with its iconic horseshoe arches and intricate geometric designs, exemplifies the architectural splendor of Islamic Andalusia, reflecting the fusion of Islamic, Byzantine, and Visigothic influences. Scientific and philosophical inquiry flourished in Andalusia during the Islamic Golden Age, as scholars made significant advances in fields such as mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and philosophy. Figures such as Ibn Rushd of Averroes, Ibn Sina of Avicenna, and Ibn al-Haytham al-Hazan contributed to the intellectual legacy of Al-Andalus, laying the groundwork for the Renaissance and Enlightenment in Europe. One of the hallmarks of Al-Andalus was its ethos of religious tolerance and multicultural coexistence, as Muslim, Christian, and Jewish communities lived and worked together in relative harmony for centuries. The Umayyad caliphs and later dynasties, such as the Almoravids and Almohads, implemented policies of religious pluralism and cultural syncretism, fostering an atmosphere of mutual respect and understanding. Andalusia's religious and cultural diversity found expression in its architecture, literature, music, and cuisine, as Islamic, Christian, and Jewish traditions influenced and enriched each other. The convivencia, or coexistence, of Al-Andalus provided a fertile ground for cross-cultural exchange and artistic creativity, producing enduring masterpieces such as the Mozarabic chants, Sephardic ballads, and Hispano-Arabic poetry. The Almoravid and Almohad dynasties, both of Berber origin, exerted a significant influence on the politics and culture of Andalusia during the medieval period. Emerging from North Africa, these dynasties sought to assert their authority over Al-Andalus and confront the challenges posed by Christian reconquest and internal dissent. The Almoravid dynasty, founded by Ibn Tumart in the 11th century, rose to power in North Africa and extended its influence into Andalusia, where it sought to restore Sunni orthodoxy and combat the spread of heresy and decadence. Under the leadership of Yusuf ibn Tashfin, the Almoravids intervened in Andalusian affairs, defeating rebellious Taifa kingdoms and imposing their brand of religious and political orthodoxy. The Almohad dynasty, founded by Ibn Tumart's disciple, Muhammad ibn Tumart, emerged as a successor to the Almoravids in the 12th century, advocating for a strict interpretation of Islam and a centralized form of governance. The Almohads launched a series of military campaigns to consolidate their rule in Andalusia, culminating in the defeat of the Almoravid remnants and the establishment of Almohad control over the region. The Almoravid and Almohad dynasties left a lasting architectural legacy in Andalusia, characterized by the construction of fortified citadels, grand mosques, and ornate palaces. Almoravid architecture, influenced by North African Berber traditions, featured massive mud brick walls, sturdy towers, and austere facades, exemplified by structures such as the Almoravid Kaaba in Marrakesh. The Almohads, renowned for their engineering prowess and artistic sophistication, introduced innovative architectural techniques and decorative motifs to Andalusia. The Great Mosque of Seville, converted into a cathedral after the Christian Reconquest, reflects the grandeur and elegance of Almohad design, with its horseshoe arches, intricate stucco work, and towering minaret, known as the Giralda. Moreover, the Almohads made significant advancements in hydraulic engineering, as evidenced by the construction of elaborate irrigation systems, aqueducts, and reservoirs to harness Andalusia's scarce water resources. The Almohad engineers also pioneered the use of hydraulic machinery, such as water wheels and norias, to facilitate agricultural production and urban development. The Christian Reconquista, or Reconquest, marked the gradual retaking of Andalusia by Christian kingdoms from Muslim rule, spanning several centuries from the 8th to the 15th century. Motivated by religious fervor, territorial ambitions, and the desire to reclaim lands lost to Muslim conquest, Christian rulers launched a series of military campaigns against Islamic territories in the Iberian Peninsula. The Reconquista gained momentum with the emergence of powerful Christian kingdoms such as Castile, Aragon, and Portugal, which expanded their territories through warfare, diplomacy, and alliances with other Christian powers. The capture of Toledo by Alfonso VI of Castile in 1085 marked a significant turning point in the Reconquista, signaling the gradual erosion of Muslim dominance in Andalusia. The Reconquista was also fueled by religious zeal and crusading fervor, as Christian knights and warriors embarked on holy wars, known as crusades, to liberate Andalusia from Muslim rule and expand Christendom's influence in the Iberian Peninsula. The reconquest of cities such as Córdoba, Seville, and Granada became rallying cries for Christian knights and monarchs, symbolizing the triumph of Christian faith over Islamic hegemony. The final act of Al-Andalus came with the fall of Granada, the last Muslim stronghold in the Iberian Peninsula, to the forces of Ferdinand II of Aragon and Isabella I of Castile in 1492. The surrender of Granada marked the end of Muslim rule in Andalusia and the completion of the Reconquista, consolidating Christian control over the entirety of the Iberian Peninsula. The fall of Granada had profound implications for the cultural and religious landscape of Andalusia, as Muslim communities faced expulsion, conversion, or assimilation into Christian society. The Catholic monarchs, Ferdinand and Isabella, implemented policies of religious uniformity and cultural assimilation, including the forced conversion of Muslims and Jews and the suppression of Islamic and Jewish customs and traditions. Despite the fall of Granada, the legacy of Al-Andalus endured in Andalusian culture, architecture, and identity, as Muslim, Christian, and Jewish influences continued to shape the region's cultural heritage and collective memory. The Reconquista marked the beginning of a new chapter in Andalusian history, characterized by religious and cultural synthesis, as Christian kingdoms sought to reconcile their Christian faith with the multicultural legacy of Al-Andalus. The Renaissance period in Andalusia marked a significant era of exploration and colonization, as Andalusian explorers ventured across the seas in search of new lands and opportunities. Among these intrepid adventurers was Christopher Columbus, whose historic voyages in the late 15th century resulted in the discovery of the Americas and opened up new horizons for trade, commerce, and cultural exchange. Andalusian ports, such as Seville and CDC, emerged as vital hubs for transatlantic trade, serving as gateways to the New World and centers of economic activity. The influx of wealth from the Americas fueled the growth of Andalusian cities, stimulating urban development, architectural innovation, and artistic patronage. The colonization of the New World brought Andalusia into contact with indigenous peoples, cultures, and ecosystems, leading to the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies between Europe and the Americas. Andalusian settlers played a pivotal role in the establishment of colonies and trading posts in regions such as Mexico, Peru, and the Caribbean, shaping the cultural and demographic landscape of the Americas. The Renaissance period in Andalusia witnessed a flourishing of artistic and literary creativity, as Andalusian artists, writers, and scholars drew inspiration from classical antiquity and the cultural heritage of Al-Andalus. Renaissance Andalusia produced masterpieces of painting, sculpture, literature, and architecture, reflecting the humanist ideals of beauty, proportion, and harmony. Andalusian painters such as Diego Velázquez, born in Seville, achieved international renown for their innovative techniques, psychological depth, and mastery of light and color. Velázquez's iconic paintings, such as Las Meninas and The Surrender of Breda, exemplified the artistic achievements of Renaissance Andalusia and its influence on European art. In modern times, Andalusia has evolved into a vibrant and dynamic region within the framework of contemporary Spain, characterized by its unique cultural heritage, traditions, and identity. Andalusian identity is deeply rooted in the region's rich history, encompassing a diverse tapestry of influences from its Phoenician, Roman, Islamic, and Christian past. Andalusians take pride in their distinctive traditions, such as flamenco music and dance, bullfighting, and Moorish architecture, which reflect the multicultural legacy of Al-Andalus and the enduring spirit of convivencia, or coexistence, among different religious and ethnic communities. The Andalusian dialect of Spanish, known as Andalusian Spanish or Andalus, is renowned for its melodic cadence, colorful expressions, and linguistic quirks, serving as a marker of regional identity and pride. In recent decades, efforts have been made to preserve and promote Andalusian heritage through cultural initiatives, educational programs, and tourism promotion. Museums, archaeological sites, and heritage centers showcase Andalusia's rich history and cultural diversity, providing opportunities for visitors to explore the region's past and engage with its traditions. Furthermore, festivals, fiestas, and cultural events celebrate Andalusian customs and folklore, fostering a sense of community and belonging among residents and visitors alike. From the vibrant Feria de Abril in Seville to the solemn Semana Santa processions in Granada, Andalusia's festivals reflect the region's cultural vitality and resilience in the face of modernization and globalization. The enduring legacy of Andalusian history lies in its cultural diversity, architectural heritage, and spirit of convivencia. Despite the passage of time and the vicissitudes of history, Andalusia remains a beacon of tolerance, creativity, and resilience, serving as a bridge between civilizations and a testament to the enduring power of human ingenuity and imagination. As we reflect on the history of Andalusia, we are reminded of the importance of understanding and appreciating the complexities of the past in order to navigate the challenges of the present and shape a more inclusive and harmonious future. Through the study and preservation of Andalusian heritage, we can honor the contributions of past generations and celebrate the diversity and richness of human experience.